his mom as she cried as she opened the door.
Hello, it's Andy here from Adele and Andy. We've been asked many times what the writing process is for a number of our songs. So I thought I'd drop on tonight and tell you a little bit about that process and try and illustrate it through one of our songs, which is called As Much As I Miss You, which is out on the 30th of April this year, 2021. Okay, so traditionally I write most of the songs and Adele will jump in and do the melodies. It's what we both believe are our strong points, and although the process has changed many times, we pretty much structure it in the following way. So I will really think about a story. I'll see something will happen to us. A lot of our stories about our own experiences, but also, we pick up on other things that happen that we may have seen. And this particular song, As Much As I Miss You, I was reading an article on Facebook about a young boy who had gone to war, and it was really looking through the mother's eyes, and she was talking about how difficult it was, and it kind of got me thinking about this particular article and how I could transform it into a song. So I began really thinking about, first of all, why people go to war, and also what it must be like. At the time, Adele was sitting next to me talking to Jordan, and it was very, just thinking about how it must be, watching your loved one move away. I have a son who lives in America, and I know how difficult it is just having him apart. So I started thinking about the fact that in this particular case, I imagined a boy who had lost his father to war, and really thinking about the mother and obviously the feelings that she would have gone through in terms of having to experience possibly the same thing again. So the song begins really with the son coming to a mother to basically tell her that he wanted to follow in his father's footsteps, i.e. become a soldier, and the mum, knowing that this was inevitably going to happen, trying to put the brave face on it. And I started to sort of jot some notes down, and I got to the point where I tried to really understand how it must feel for the mother. And as the song grew, I started to think about the boy then and his relationship with his father, who obviously has sadly died. And it kind of conjured an image of the boy going to see his dad at his burial place at the gravestone, and really talking to him. And I kind of heard this voice coming from the grave, from his father, basically saying, "Son, you really don't want to do this. Your mum's been through enough. She just can't go through this again." But the boy, in being intent on wanting to go and do this thing, eventually works out that it's something he has to do, and goes back to the mum, and the mum basically again puts on a brave face, and eventually. Again, I saw this image, and this is when I started talking to Adele and basically saying, this is the story to date. And she went, "Oh, I can imagine it. I can imagine the mum, standing there with a tear in her eye, turning his collar down, straightening his tie, and getting him ready to go. Having a mixture of such pride, but also trepidation in terms of him not coming back." So the song sort of carries on in this theme, and the boy eventually goes to war, hearing his father's words and so on and so forth. And eventually we get to a point where, in the midst of the battle, the song says, he drops to his knees. He sees all his friends perishing and suddenly realises, whoa, Dad is right. It all comes to him in a flash. I need to get back to Mum. And as the song carries on, again, we see the boy basically picking up the phone and relaying the story, if you like, from the father, and saying to the mum, you know, as much as I miss you, or rather telling his father, you know, as much as he misses him, that he needs to go back to his mother. So reinforcing his father's words. And eventually, happily, the song ends with the boy announcing to his mum that he's coming home. So that kind of gives you a feel for, you know, how we construct the songwriting process. And all through this, Adele has got quite a lot of involvement in terms of, you know, producing the melodies, producing all the emotions that go through the song, and really, you know, helping me to see it from, you know, from a picture book, from a storybook, and really helping me to develop the words. And of course, you know, once you get the song, you then realise that some of the words that you've created don't quite fit with the song, either emotionally or structurally, and of course you may then go back and change some of the lyrics to suit the melody. So yes, As Much As You Miss You is out on the 30th of April, so we'd love you to go and pre-buy this, or if in fact the song is already out, to go and give it a listen and to give us some feedback. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks again everybody for listening.
Locked in the drawer, will never be draped in rose like it was once before. As much as I miss you coming through my door, my mama, she needs me each time it hurts a little more. I've learned from your mistakes and I won't do the same. It'll break her heart all over again, 'cause as much as I miss you, oh mama, I'm coming home. Oh mama,